Hey y'all, it's your girl Quay the writer. How y'all doing? I know I've been MIA. I know I was supposed to binge drop a story time, and I know I've been really playing games, and I'm sorry. January has been a very interesting month. This past week has been mortifyingly stressful. I can't even begin to get into what the fuck been going on, but I'm back. Another reason why it kind of took long for me to put up another story time is because I know I had told you guys that the story time I would be uploading would be the story time about the time I had a fight at a funeral, and I realized that I don't really want to tell that story because that's really a bad, like, that's a horrible story, and it does not paint me in a good light. Or like, I kind of don't want to tell that story because it's just like, it's very ratchet. Like, that's a very ghetto ass fucking story. And I'm just like, I can't be looking too crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, as you could tell by the title, this story is going to be talking about my bad trip that I had in 2012 with weed, which is the reason why I do not smoke to this day. I'm not a smoker. And to be honest, I'm kind of sad about that. Like, I be wishing I could hit the spliff, but your girl can't smoke. So let's jump right into it. Hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. So in 2012, I had a bad trip. So let's take it back. So I have been smoking weed for a minute. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was smoking weed in high school. I was smoking weed a lot at home. Well, not with my mother. Like, put that out there because she's probably listening. She always gonna want me to make it clear that I wasn't under her household smoking weed. This is when I used to live with family members, and there was weed accessible. So I used to smoke, like, all the time after school, sometimes before school. You know what I'm saying? I would smoke and I would be fine, and I was doing it for quite some time until the summer of 2012, which is the year I graduated high school. So as I said, I had been smoking for like fucking 2 years by this point. You know what I'm saying? And I had never had a bad experience before. So this particular day, this was during the summer, and I was at my mom's house, and I remember she was at work, and I was in the house watching my younger sisters. So I had got a text message from my homeboy, and he was like, yo, you want to smoke? And I was like, hell yeah. So this particular homeboy, my mom loved him. Like, he was cool, like, you know what I'm saying, always valid to come over, like, you know what I mean? So I told him, I was like, yo, pull up. I was like, my mom should be home soon, so, we can leave and, like, go outside for a minute and do that, and then come back and eat, because, I had cooked or whatever. So he was like, I bet. So he came or whatever. He sat with me for a minute until my mom came home. She finally came home. We went outside to the park. We smoked. So I remember sitting down with him, and we was smoking, talking, and like, I kind of remember when something didn't feel right, but it was like something didn't feel right, but I didn't realize that it didn't feel right, if that makes sense. Like, I just thought I was high. I was high, obviously, but it just felt like, oh, I had the awareness that I was high, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I just knew I was high. Let's put it like that. I mean, I think we all know that we're high, but I was very aware that I was high. Did I go, like, did I go to a different level of consciousness? Maybe, because, I got the chakras back here. Because, I am spiritually in tuned, and I have always been without even realizing it. So that's a whole nother story that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, so maybe I went to a different consciousness without even realizing it. So, like I said, I became, I was I felt, over a sudden, as he was talking, mid-conversation, I suddenly felt very aware of everything, but it wasn't scary yet. I just felt like I felt like as we were talking, everything he said and everything I was saying, it was like everything had a deeper meaning behind it, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? So we smoked or whatever. Like I said, I had told him after we finished smoking, come back upstairs. I had cooked or whatever we could eat or whatever. So we went back upstairs. Everything is cool. I'm in the kitchen. I'm fixing plates. So like I said, my mother's house consists of my mother and my two younger sisters and me, you know, because I used to do a lot of bouncing back and forth between my mother and my family uptown. So I remember making a plate for my friend, and then over a sudden a voice in my head was like, they're gonna think you're crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yo. And then my youngest sister, I saw her walk by, bro. And she represented, like, she was a demon, bro. Like, and from that moment forward, everything I saw was like either a demon or a representation of hell and the devil, or an angel and a representation of heaven and God. When I saw my youngest sister walking by as a demon, I screamed at the top of my lungs because what the fuck, my nigga? So when I screamed, my other sister, she was in the living room with my homeboy, whatever, they was talking or whatever. And when I screamed from the kitchen, like, niggas in the living room jumped up to like look to see what was going on. And I came out of the kitchen and I looked at my sister, my other sister. She represented an angel. So at this point, I done seen a demon and I done seen an angel, and I'm like, and both my sisters, and I'm like, I'm bugging out now. My homeboy was like, you good? He was looking evil. I'm screaming some more, so I run. So my mother is coming out her bedroom, and she's like, what the fuck is going on or whatever. Then my mom represented God. What the fuck, my nigga? And I just felt the need to just she said to me, she was like, oh, I felt the need to like be honest and truthful with her. And I was like, Ma, I'm dying. I was just screaming and telling her I'm dying. And she was like, what? She was what? She was like, have you been smoking? And I was like, yes, Mom, I've been smoking. Yes. And I started throwing out these like crazy accusations about my friend. I'm not even gonna fucking repeat what I said, bro. It was like that bad and that embarrassing. But my homeboy represented something very evil and something that was like after me type shit. So I was telling my mom, I'm like, yo, he did this to me. I started making crazy accusations about my dad. I'm like, he did this to me. And I'm saying, and I was telling my mom that my father was trying to kill me or whatever. It was bananas. And all of this shit, as it was happening, was true. Like, it was like, you know, when obviously it wasn't true, but you know when something is true, and that definitive feeling you have when you are speaking your truth to someone. That was how it felt to tell my mother that my dad was trying to kill me, that my friend was after, like, it was some bullshit. So my mother was obviously upset, but in my high state, as she's breaking on me and yelling and hollering, I guess I became frightened, and I like ran out of the house. And I said to my friend, I was like, mind you, I'm fucking saying that this nigga is trying to fucking harm me. And I'm telling her, I'm like, I gotta get out the Bronx. Like, I gotta leave. Like, I'm scared. And then all of a sudden, my heart is beating so fast, and I have this impending thought, and like I was so sure that my dad was on his way over at that moment to come kill me. Like, I don't know why the fuck this was what I was thinking, but it was. So I ran out of my house, out the apartment, out the building. My friend followed me. And to be honest, me and that friend, we don't speak today, but If there is any chance that he is watching this video, I have thanked him, but I want to thank him again because he did not leave me that night, and I was bugging the fuck out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have been grimy and fucking left me out on the street, and he didn't. He did stay with me that whole night, and I'll never forget that. So he ran out after me or whatever. I'm like shaking. I'm scared for no apparent reason. And he trying to talk to me. He's like, Quay, what's going on? I was like, my father's on his way here to kill me. He's gonna kill me. Like, he's gonna kill me. Like, I don't know why I was saying that. Like, he's gonna kill me. Like, I gotta get out of the Bronx. So my friend, he's like, but like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, what is she gonna do? I can't take her to my house. You know what I'm saying? So where I lived at the time, I lived on 167th, right off of the Grand Concourse. It was 167th. And we ended up in 161 train station. So y'all know how 161 train station looked, the D train, the D and the 4. So we get in that train station, and then it's like that feeling of heaven and hell was all over the train station. Like the D, like taking the D train, you have to go downstairs. That was like hell. So I was like trying to like walk away. Like I was trying to get away from the D side, and I wanted to take the 4. I don't know where I was going. I wanted to take the 4 train because the 4 train was up. So it was like heaven. Like it was so weird how my mind was working, my nigga. Like everything meant heaven or hell. Like certain people was a demon, certain people was an angel, and I'm just seeing all of this. Nobody else is fucking seeing it. Like it was crazy. Then you know 161 has a police station. So I'm like fake trying to calm down, but I'm not calming down. So they caught wind of, they saw what was going on, because like at one point I like threw myself down the stairs of the D train. I don't know why I did that. It was like I was running to hell type shit, and then I had saw some demons on the platform, and I went back upstairs. I was really out my fucking noggin this night, my nigga. And a lot of times I think to myself how dangerous this night was, because when I threw myself down those down the stairs leading down to the where the D train was, when I threw myself down those stairs, I asked myself, what if I have not seen those people, aka demons, that I perceived them to be on right then and there, that caused me to run back upstairs? What if I had not seen those people, and what if it would have been an empty platform, and what if I would have inevitably just jumped into the tracks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but thank God for them demons, right? So once I seen the demons on the platform, I ran back up the stairs or whatever. Then I ended up in the police station, because like I said, 161 train station has a police station. So I end up in there, and I'm wilding. I'm saying all kind of shit. I'm telling them that my homeboy got a gun. He trying to kill me. Why am I saying this? Like, I felt like he was trying to kill me. I felt like, I don't know. Then it was cops in there. They all was like demons. It was only one lady in there who represented the angel. Then I had like a moment where I like kind of like spaced out. I'm like shouting out my friends who I felt like loved me. Like it was like, what the fuck, my nigga? I was bugging. Long story short, I ended up in the psychiatric ward at Lincoln Hospital to spend the night there. And my friend stayed with me, yo. He did. And he could have left at any time, my nigga. That shit is crazy. But he stayed with me. And shortly after that, my best friend came. She came to pick me up. I went to her house. The high finally wore off. Oh, but before the high wore off, while I was in the psychiatric ward, like one of the doctor, I guess it was a doctor, he came to me while I was like laying down and shit. And he was asking me like, you know, like I guess he was asking me questions to get a feel for where my mental state was. So he was like asking me questions like what my name was, and like I think he asked me like what date it was, like, you know. And then he asked me, he said, do you know why you're here? And when he asked me that, I think this was like the last meaningful, like this was the last thing someone said that had a double meaning. And when he said to me, the doctor said, do you know why you're here? And my response to him, I sat and I said, yes, I know why. He was like another representation of God. And when he asked me, do you know why you're here? I responded to him by listing all of the sins that I've committed in my life that I could think of. I was like, yes, I know why I'm here. So basically, I feel like that night I took a trip to hell, I guess. And that shit fucking gave me PTSD after that shit, my nigga. Like, that shit was really crazy. Then, I didn't even mention too, while I was in the train station, my mother had called my phone because, like I said, I had ran out of the house. I was bugging. And my mother called my phone with my dad on three-way. And hearing his voice was like, and anybody who knows me knows I'm a daddy's girl. I love my father, God rest his soul. But that night, like, he just represented evil. And that shit was really bothersome. And when my mother three-wayed me with my dad on the line, my father was talking to me and his voice just sounded like scary. And like, I was like, Dad, you trying to kill me. You know the things you did to me or whatever. It was bad. It was so bad. And it's embarrassing. It's still embarrassing. When I went to Lincoln Hospital, they actually cuffed me. Let me see if y'all can see this. I have, to this day, I don't know if you can see these faint lines, but these are scars from being handcuffed. I don't know. Can you see? These are scars that I have on my arms from being handcuffed and thrown into the ambulance. I was like fighting. I was telling the cops that I thought they was gonna try to rape me. I was bugging the fuck. I was like, they're gonna rape me and they're gonna kill. Like, when I say I was bugging, I was really bugging. So after that, it was settled. Your girl cannot smoke weed. It ain't for me. But from that summer of 2012 to now, damn near 10 years later, there has been instances where I tried to pick up the blunt again just to see. I would always prep myself like, bitch, you might bug out. So I've never bugged out like that again, but I have I've realized smoking makes me very paranoid. Even though I never bugged out again, like I smoked after that. I tried to see like if my tolerance was better, if I could do it. I guess you could say my tolerance. The thing is, I've always had a tolerance. I don't understand why that day I bugged out like that. People were suspecting that like maybe the weed was laced and my friend didn't know. At first, my father thought that my friend laced me, but I'm like, nah, he would never do nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I was thinking to myself like, shit, was it laced without his knowledge? You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. But actually the crazy part is it wasn't laced because they tested me for that in the hospital and the only thing that I tested positive for was weed. So that shit is just crazy. I don't know. I used to smoke weed and be fine. This one particular day I bugged out. And anytime I tried to smoke after that, I semi-bugged out. Not to that degree at all, because every time, like I smoked maybe like 4 more times after that, like these past 10 years. And before I would like even start pulling, I would have a conversation with myself like, oh, Quay, you collect yourself. So I would smoke. And I would feel the shift again. I would feel how, the things that still remain the same is that when I get high, everything, but I think that's just smoking in general, because everybody says this, like things is more intense, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like everything be having like a deeper meaning, and like it means like it makes me think about like the afterlife. Like I don't got time for that shit. Like I don't got time, and then wonder if somebody's gonna try to kill me. Like, nah. So I don't got time to be fucking looking around questioning and shit like that. I remember this one dude I used to mess with. He's a heavy smoker. So he didn't know that I don't do that. So he was coming to link me or whatever. He was like, you gonna smoke with me? I said, not if you want to be accused of trying to kill me. He was like, oh nah, I can't fuck with you. Yeah, I can't smoke, y'all. Like I can't do it. And I be wishing I could, because I be stressed and I be needing something to curb my stress. But yeah, y'all, that's my crazy ass story of how I tweaked. Okay, how I tweaked. Your girl can't smoke no weed. It's not for her. Everything ain't for everybody. You feel me? Like that stripper story. Everything ain't for everybody. And weed is not for me. You know what I'm saying? God wants me to be a sober mommy. And you know what I'm saying? I could be a sober mommy for you, God. But please just give me some type of like, what? Like I need something I cure. Like how can I cure my stress? If y'all got any ways for your girl to, like, you know, cure her stress, can you just drop some comments or something, please? Like, what can I do? I can't smoke weed. Thank you guys for tuning in to Storytime number 3. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.